haven't saw this kid, so you understand this, Mr. Malhotra. And I see that we have General Sivaj, we have Sumit Peer and Mr. Dwivedi. Their collective knowledge is much greater than that. By the way, I've been to that country, stunningly beautiful. I'm not just talking about the women, but about the country itself, Colombia. Now, what ails Colombia? I spoke to one of the former ministers a little while ago after I was invited to your show. And they said that it's a 50-50 chance unless he is evacuated to the United States. Because medical facilities in Bogota, where he is at the moment, are extremely limited. Either that happens, or if he stays behind in Colombia, then he'll probably be paralyzed for life. But he's out of the running in any case. That is very clear. So crime is very high in Colombia. They have the second largest number of internally displaced persons of any country in the world. Corruption, drug trafficking. Remember when I was in Mali, there used to be these flights bringing Colombian cocaine. It was known as air cocaine. And the interesting thing is, some years ago, the plane landed in Mali in a desert. You couldn't take off, so they blew up the aircraft. And by the way, the pilot was from your neighbor, Afghanistan. So everybody was making money in that air cocaine business that was going on. Now, we've had a lot of assassinations, political assassinations in Colombia. Two of the most important reasons for political violence in that country, apart from the Fuerzas Armadas, the FARC fellows and the National Liberation Army of Colombia, which have been very active. They even kidnapped that French Colombian politician, I think Ingrid Betancourt. It was in the early 2000s and she was released later. She was also a presidential candidate. So what happens here is that because of drug trafficking, because of corruption, because of lack of effective governance, and more than anything else, the interference of that big bad fellow to the north called the United States and the multinational corporations, Colombia is a country, but it's not a place that you'd want to visit too often because security is at a premium. Several prominent politicians, including a former president, I forget the name, I think it was, I've forgotten the names, I think Galan or somebody, were assassinated over there. So this kind of thing would go on. And what I make of this is that the sins of the past are now coming back to haunt Colombia. The hens are coming home to roost. This is not the last assassination that we are going to see. FARC may have signed a peace deal. This is the revolutionary army that were fighting for the liberation of Colombia. So they say. This is not the last time. They've signed a peace deal, but they're going to continue. So my own understanding of this is that this was drug money involved. I think this guy had been talking about dealing with drug trafficking and so on. I say you don't do these things in a country 50% of whose GDP comes from drug trafficking. Where he did it, where he's paying the price. I just hope that he survives. I hope he recovers. But what this former minister told me, who was also, by the way, in hiding because he's been threatened, he said that it's not possible that he will be back to normal. So there we are. So this is Colombia. Welcome to the world of Medellin cartel, Cali cartel, and all the wretched cartels in the world. You're welcome, sir.
You're absolutely right, sir. General Sivaj,